Hey guys, I'm measuring my hair for the first time. So, I'm not sure how to do this really. I don't know if I pull it in front of me or if I stand on a chair and then try and do it that way, but my hair's not touching the ground or anything, so I won't need to do all that. Okay. I could use someone's help, I guess, but I've seen other people do this. I'm gonna start from like the root. Okay, where does it come? I did this earlier with my hair in the front, and it went to like 43 inches on one side. And the other side was shorter by a whole inch. So let's see if I can feel the end of my hair here. Looking up straight. Yeah, it's about 43 inches there. When I have it in the back, it came down to 43. I did trim about 1.5 inches, maybe 2, back in the first week of June, about 5.5 months ago. I just couldn't take those really thin light ends anymore. Even though I was oiling it every day, it was still just getting lighter and lighter and thinner. And my husband trimmed my hair for me, actually. I asked him, and he went ahead and gave me a little trim. So, and since then, it has grown back. It's right back pretty much to where it was before I trimmed my hair. See, that's what I mean. My hair grows like a weed. So here's how I feel about hair trims and stuff like that when it comes to 1 Corinthians. I know everyone has a different, well, not everyone, but there's different views on this. Some people believe 1 Corinthians is a hair covering. Some believe that you cannot trim or cut your hair at all. I don't believe neither one of those. I don't believe it's commanding us to wear a head covering at all. I believe it was commanding the Corinthian women who had their heads shaven and shorn to cover their heads with a veil. That is what I'm convinced in my heart 100% that 1 Corinthians is saying. He was saying to those women that were shaved and shorn, because that was a weird thing women were doing a lot of times, shaving their heads. I believe Paul was telling them to cover with a veil. Now, because it was a shame, just like when women get cancer, what do? They usually wear a headscarf, a wig, or a hat. They cover their heads because they're pretty much bald. And I believe that's exactly what Paul's talking about. You don't have to, if you have cancer, the natural thing most women do is cover their head because they have no hair. So that's what I believe was happening. These women were shaved. They were hairless. Maybe they just chopped off their hair really short. But I believe a lot of it was the shaving part. The just like you shave a sheep, and a lot of people say, well, shorn means to cut. That means you cannot cut. I don't believe that's what it's saying. Shorn and shaven are the same thing. You cut a sheep, you shave. So that was a shaven thing. Anyways, I know God doesn't take things to the extreme like a lot of us people tend to like to do. We believe like we take something and we make something much more of it. Like we say, oh, cutting your hair is a sin. No, it's not a sin to cut your hair. It is totally fine. Some women's hairs drag on the floor. And if she cuts her hair that's dragging the floor like to her ankles or even up to here, her hair's still long. That is still long. The Bible says it's a glory if a woman have long hair. That doesn't mean that she can't maintain her hair by trimming it and keeping it healthy. I think it's really shaving off your head. Like even today, women are shaving their heads, and a lot of times they say it's for cancer support and stuff, but still that's shaving your head, and that's what I believe Corinthians is talking about. So I'm totally okay with hair trims. It's absolutely not sin. It's okay if you choose not to. That's okay too. If you're convinced to not trim your hair, then don't do it. And if you're convinced that you have to wear a covering, then cover your head. God knows our heart, he sees our faith, and he rewards us for that. So I'm not telling anybody not to do those other things if that's what they believe, because you got to work out your own salvation and go with what you feel in your heart. And if you feel that's what God's asking you to do, then you really should do it. But anyways, as far as like the hair trimming, because that's what a lot of people believe in the church that I was in, and I don't know, sometimes I visit still other ones on occasion when I feel God is leading me to do that, but I don't believe that teaching. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. Another one of my personal revelation convictions in the Word of God that I thought I'd throw out there, and I don't want to offend anybody. I totally think the women that don't cut their hairs, a lot of times it's really pretty, and there's something really neat about that. It's just not what I believe, and but I do admire women that have that long, uncut, beautiful. I mean, depending, some of it's beautiful, some of it's not, but a lot of them do have very still nice hair considering, but it's just not for me. I've prayed about this off and on over the years, and I it's back to what I feel like God showed me the first time, and that it's a woman should keep her hair long, and we should have understanding what's the difference between long and short hair. And for some women, long hair isn't long like this. Some women, long hair is this. Even naturally, they can't even get their hair past here. So that's long hair. Anyways, I'm gonna go because I talk way too much and blah blah blah, blah and get into so many things that probably bore everyone to tears. So I'm gonna go. You have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time.